First and foremost, as always, welcome to another video of Timeless Talks. In this video, as we switching gears a little bit, I always had intentions for this channel to be much more than just music. My love for TV is just as strong as my love for music, so today, just like my very first video, we're going to take it back to the day one TV shows that I always loved to watch as a kid. There was a time period in the early 2000s where the only channel I watched for years was MTV. They had all of my favorite shows, and at this time period, the world was a little different than what it is now. So they aired just about anything. As long as they bleeping out of the cuss words, you were going to get whatever MTV wanted. It's so many shows I can get into, but for this video, we're going to talk about their 3-year run from 2003 to 2006. The shows that always kept me dying laughing and I thought was the most wildest was Next, Room Raiders, Yo Momma, and Pimp My Ride. Even as I was outlining this video, I still couldn't believe that these shows was actually aired on national TV. To kick it off, we're going to jump into Room Raiders, which dropped in 2003. This show was basically a TV show about a white van coming to pick up random strangers from their home and put them in the back of this van as they had to watch another complete stranger who they potentially wanted to date sniff through their room and go through their bedrooms while they wasn't there and while they did not have any time to clean it up or make it presentable. Think about how crazy that is sound out loud. You got people that's basically kidnapped, dragged out of their own house, and they get shown a video of a complete stranger and just think to themselves like, oh yeah, like I'll rock with that person, I'll date that person. And they watch this person go through their drawers and panty drawers and take a black light and scan their bed to see what kind of things they done on their bed. Like, the show was wild. Like, could you imagine a knock at your door 7, 8 in the morning and people in all black drag you out? You barely got on clothes, you got on t-shirts and your underwear, and you just watching in the back of a white van someone go through your home. As crazy as I probably just made the show sound, I loved it. It had a vice grip on me. It was something about the element of getting to know who it is you're going to potentially be dating by going through their room that just excited me. I'm convinced this show was made for nosy people like me who want to know right away if you're dating a weirdo or not, even if that makes you look like a weirdo in the process. A year later, MTV drops Pimp My Ride, and this is when I started to know that MTV is in a league of their own. Pimp My Ride was hands down the dopest show on TV at this time. There's no arguments, there's no discussion. Who didn't want their ride pimped out by Exhibit coming to visit you in your house and telling you, I'm going to pimp your ride? But to keep the trend of how ruthless MTV was, Pimp My Ride was a show about rapper Exhibit literally spending the beginning of the show coming to your house and blowing down about how trash these people's cars was. Like, no joke, for the first 10 to 15 minutes of every show, we as the fans, along with Exhibit, would just watch and just laugh at how broken down and beat up these people's cars was. But it was amazing because at the end, they reviewed the car and all the things they did to pimp it out, and it got TV screens and speakers. I remember one episode, they put a fish tank in a dude's trunk. All types of stuff was going on with these cars. Anything imaginable was made and put into these cars, and as fans, we watched and we just fantasized and wished, like, man, I wish my car had these things. And to cap it all off, at the end of every episode, they had to remind us of how bad these people's cars was by hitting us with before and after pictures of the things that they fixed and changed and how bad it was before. That next year, MTV drops a show called Next, and I really hope y'all remember this show because this by far is probably the most ignorant of them all. Next was just a brutal yes or no dating show. Could you imagine in the now how we slide in DMs and we can either be left on red or just said no, or all the humiliating things we do over social media? Could you imagine a TV show where this was done face to face in person on national TV? The selling point of the show was people just getting curved left and right. Like, MTV did not care. The show always consisted of 3 contestants in this big Next van, and they went out to go meet and go on a date with somebody that gets to choose them and if they want to date them or not. And sometimes people would get curved before they even got to go on the date. But the spin on the show was that every successful date led to money being put in the contestants' pockets. And if they was chosen to be happily ever after, the contestant that was picked could then choose to take the money if they didn't like who picked them. And it seemed that people was looking for the littlest things and the littlest reasons to take the money and go. I remember it being one episode where one guy beat out the other 2 contestants, and on his final date, he asked the girl what was her favorite football team, and she said the Dallas Cowboys. And because of that reason, He ended the date, pretty much dumped her, and said, "You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take the money because you're a bad football fan." The show was just simply cutthroat, but it was hilarious. Last but definitely not least, in 2006, we had the show Yo Mama. Someone pitched to MTV a TV show centered around Yo Mama jokes, and MTV said, "You know what? Genius." And that it was. Everybody on this earth, I feel, has a story of that one Yo Mama joke that they heard as a kid that made them so mad they wanted to fight. Well, MTV made a show out of this. I know him as Fez from that '70s show, but Will will go around different cities and states and pick contestants to do the best Yo Mama jokes and face off against other contestants to see who win money. And to me, the beautiful thing about how ignorant this show was that the jokes were so different. I never heard them before. So I remember I would watch this show and I would hear certain jokes and I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go to school to use that on somebody. You have people standing around in the crowd like it's about to be a dance battle or rap off going on, but nope, it's about to be old fashioned Yo Mama jokes. And sometimes on certain episodes, there will be people that will get killed where all they could do was just take it and be silent while everyone in the crowd just laughed at them. Now, I don't know if any of these shows will be aired today in today's world, but I had to make a video to reminisce about how classic these shows was. MTV's 3-year stretch of these 4 shows was amazing. And if you agree, tell me about some of your favorite episodes in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.